All right, so let's move on to our next thing is actually going to be demons, but we can't get there until we have something to use as a demon. So our next step is going to be plugins here. Now, the whole app has all these different plugins that you can get, and we also have third-party plugins that you can get from other people as well. When Sapphire comes out of the box, it only has a few plugins enabled, memory system definitely being one of them. Each of these adds a little bit of complexity to the app, a little bit of speed reduction. Every one that you add, it takes away something from quality, if that makes any sense. So what we're going to do here, what I really want is a way to email my persona and then have her email me back. So in here, we've got some email client. Let me see where I put that. So email is one of our plugins here, so I'm going to enable that. And anything you enable here, you have to type in I understand like a bunch of times. So get ready to type that a lot. So the email plugin is now enabled, and the other ones don't have any settings, so they don't have the gear icon, but email does have this gear icon, and we have to set up an email account before we can continue. So notice up top, you're allowed to allow sending to any address. If you check this, it doesn't respect the mind section that has the people database, the contacts list. It can send to anybody with this enabled. I leave this off and just let it send to the contact list. But what we do here is we add an account. Now, I have an account for Anita that I just never used, so Anita at sapphireblue.dev, and the password, yeah, we'll have to change that. I don't know if that was visible for a second or not. But anyway, the password's down there. So you enter any email server. This is just SMTP mostly, although I guess there is IMAP in here. So um, I think it's just mail.sapphireblue.dev. Same with the server here. And so I'm just going to click save down there and then test, see if it works. Hey, good. Yeah. So all you have to do is enter the email, the password, and remember, if you're on Gmail, you can use this with Gmail, by the way, but if you're using it with Gmail, two-factor is going to block this, so you would need an app password, and that's kind of defined right here. So if you do need an app password, it's in your Google account. Um, I don't think you can use this on a regular Google account unless you have two-factor enabled and an app password for this app. And it would be different settings down here, obviously. I think it's like mail.google.com, or you'll have to look it up. But anyway, you've also got the port setting over on the right here, just in case you need it. So now we've added that email account. We've tested that it works. I'm just going to hit save changes in the upper right. I don't remember if I need to or not, but and at this point, we should be able to hit, I don't know if I already hit save down here. I think I did. Can't hit it too many times, so I just hit back and I see the Anita account here. Great, great, great. So now if I hop back over to, we don't have email in any of our tool sets, so we need to go over to the tool set. And we'll go to our test tool set down here, the pizza one. And let's go ahead and uncheck everything and just give it access to mail, the email. So here's the email plugin. We could give it access to everything, or I could just say get inbox, read email. Um, so if all this goes well, it should be able to get its inbox, see that I emailed it, and then read that email. So I'm going to go ahead and activate that. And at this point, I'm going to go back to my main computer and I'm going to just send a message to Anita at sapphireblue.dev. And so I just hit send on that. And so what happens here is she doesn't check her email. This is the Anita persona. She doesn't check her email automatically. She has a tool that lets her check the email, and we put that in our test tool set here. So I just switched over to Anita, gave her the test tool set. I'm gonna make sure it actually sent. Okay, great. So it says message sent on my end. So now I'll come over here, double check everything. And yep, notice this email is set to default. We need to switch it to Anita. That's the one we just made. So that'll be on the Anita email account there. And this is, when Anita runs the check email account, it goes to that one. So now I'll say, hey Anita, check your inbox. And so if all goes well, Anita has those tools, and we'll see it processing the prompt tools here, and then it should go almost immediately to check inbox. And any of the smarter AIs are not just going to check it, they're going to say, oh, hey, there's stuff in there. I need to read those emails, so they'll do two at once. Um, okay, so Anita ran get inbox. Hey, there's me. There's test new. So let's see what happens down here. So now Anita is saying, I need to figure out how to respond. I don't know if Anita is going to actually try to respond in this or not. This is, like I said, this is not the smartest AI model we're testing this on. But now the AI is talking about read email. So it's going to try getting the actual email now. Oh no, I guess it didn't. It just thought about getting it and then didn't. So I'll say get the email. And this is going to be the AI, able to actually look at this email, say that this is email number one, and if it's smart enough, it'll just say get email and then put a one in it. Uh, so there's get inbox, check your inbox. There, so it knows the read email is there. Um, it's having a misunderstanding between get the email and read the email. So it's not sure what I meant by get the email. It sounded kind of like get inbox to the AI. So it's basically just going through this debate. But anyway, if you have a smarter AI, it should just go ahead and get those emails. And now that we have, let's just ignore this. Let's go ahead and cancel this. Oh, well, it's actually saying I think the correct approach is to read email, so maybe we'll just let it go. So anyway, what we're doing here, we hooked up the email, not just so we can play around with the tools, because email has tools in there, and you can just tell your AI, check its email, and it'll do that, or, read email or respond to somebody by email. And it does those pretty much automatically when you ask it to. Uh, the other option is to basically have the AI be woken up when it gets an email. In other words, you could have it run on a heartbeat. Let's just say every 30 minutes it checks its email, and then every 30 minutes it would load up the email and see if it has any more, and its instructions might be to respond to that email or something like that. So basically, you can do it that way. The downside is that costs a lot of tokens. I mean, think about it. If you're running every 30 minutes, you're paying even when you don't have email. I mean, you're running your AI to run a bunch of tools and do a bunch of stuff when there's nothing to be done. So you can skip over that by if there was a way to wake up the AI when it got an email. So the email comes in and only then does it say, hey, AI, you just got an email from this person. What do you want to do with it? Now, compare that if you're getting like 2 or 3 emails a day, you could run the heartbeat every 30 minutes and it would take about, on average, 15 minutes, half of that to respond. So, average 15 minutes response time. And you're paying for that, if it's every 30 minutes, you're paying almost 50 of those per day. But take the other case, you're only getting 3 emails per day. Wake the AI up 3 times to respond, and that's it. And that's the difference between a heartbeat and a daemon. A daemon runs in the background and does this stuff and can wake up the main app. So we've already been in the triggers page. This was the time section where these are time triggers. Heartbeat is one and run at a certain time is another. We have those turned off for right now. But in the schedule page, there's another section up here. There's time and there's also events. Events are things that are happening outside the app that are going to trigger things inside the app. So in this case, mostly what people are using are daemons. Webhooks we're probably going to skip, but they let you kind of reach in from other apps into this app and trigger stuff in this app. Daemons, though, they'll run like a little server in the app. In this case, we want to add an email daemon. I mean, we just set up our email, so what we want to do is have, let's just say, the Anita persona automatically respond as Anita through the daemon. So anytime the daemon detects a new email, it wakes up Anita and says, "Hey, wake your ass up and respond." So we'll say, "Anita email is the daemon. Just respond to the emails you get." So we tell it just respond, and the daemon source right here. Uh, so it'll list multiple sources here. We have daemons for email, Discord, Telegram. That means the app doesn't need to continually check if there's messages there. These can actually trigger the AI, and these are the sources of what triggers it. So on a new email, this would trigger this daemon to run. So unlike, run at 9 a.m. or whatever, this one runs when an email is received in. So it'll ask you what account. We're going to do Anita at sapphireblue.dev. Notice the auto reply button is checked. That means the AI just basically types into the chat, and whatever it types just goes right out the other side to the email. So filters are really important. So this will respond to everybody by default. But if you were to put a filter in here that said, I think it's like from address. Yeah, so it's from underscore address. If you were to use that and then put in, let's say, your address or something like that, it would only respond to you, which is really important if you want your AI to have kind of like a private response mode that only responds to you. That's where you would use that feature there. Uh, and if you go back down here, like we're just going to leave the filter off for right now, so it'll respond to every email. And so if we go down here, we'll be able to set the actual persona here, which is in all the different personas. So I'm just going to select Anita since we're using the Anita persona. We'll come down here. The prompt is Anita. The tool set, sure, it's personality. It doesn't really matter what it is here. Um, and you could save it to a certain chat history. So every time you talk to Anita, she will have that chat history if you wanted to name it here. I usually don't. I just have one-off responses for the most case, or for the most part. The voice is set, so if she receives an email and replies to it, the voice is set to speak on the server speakers. So we don't really need that. We're just gonna uncheck that. On any of these mind scopes, so notice this one's actually really important. The mind scope has an email dropdown and it's set to none. Since this is an email reply daemon, we probably want to set it to Anita here, and then we'll go to create daemon. And so what this is now an email daemon listening for emails going to Anita at sapphireblue.dev, and it should automatically respond. So what I'm going to do now is go back over to my other computer and try to send. So I'm going to do Anita at sapphireblue.dev. Just say, "Hey, how are you?" And then click send. Okay, so once that sends, what happens here is our email daemon is actually checking in the background right now. And I think it checks every 120 seconds. Let's actually hop back over there and see. Yeah, so poll every 120 seconds. You may want to keep it at 120 seconds because if you do it too often, it's basically it could potentially rate limit you. And I mean, think about it, like if it responds in 1 minute or 2 minutes, it's not going to make that much of a difference overall. So anyway, this checks every 120 seconds, and it's not the AI checking on a heartbeat. This is just an app that runs. We call it the daemon, and it runs constantly in the background of Sapphire, checking the email every 120 seconds. And its only ability is to wake up this daemon and give it the information about that email. So I saw it go through on my end here, so it actually sent. And so basically we just wait here and hopefully it'll reach over to this. So all the email responders are set and running. And like I said, this has a 120-second check. So we might be waiting here as long as 2 minutes, and that's why I figured I'd talk about it here. So when you're doing demons, you're going to want to do this with email. You're going to want to do this with Discord, Telegram, anything that you're going to want to like respond in real time from outside the app. Uh, hmm. Sorry, just clearing my throat there. So anything you're coming in from outside the app and you wanted to respond, make a daemon for it. It's pretty much easy for plugins to have daemons in them for all sorts of things. A daemon that would, I don't know, wake up Sapphire if the garage door opened or if the temperature dropped below 60 degrees, or you can have daemons for pretty much anything there. Um, and the whole point is that you don't have to spend your money on heartbeats. All right, so I just had to wait. I had to turn the app off and turn it back on, and yeah, it was that 120 seconds, and I think I turned it off and rebooted it during that 120. But anyway, the demon started to respond after I restarted the app. And notice it's highlighted in pink, meaning it's actually thinking and responding. I can hear the computer screaming. It's saying it's processing prompt. So the fact that it's lit up in pink means the daemon saw the email, sent it on to the daemon in here, and now the AI is responding. So um, we can see it's actually generating tokens here, and then that drops off whenever it's done responding. It'll remove the pink area or the pink outline there. Great, so it's done responding. I mean, mostly. I mean, it says done. Oh, done reasoning. Okay, there we go. Now it's done responding. So now it'll actually send the email, and now it says it's not, it's not highlighted anymore. So I'm just gonna hop over to see if I got that email. I'm gonna click refresh. Sometimes it takes it a minute to come over here. Hey, there's Anita. Yep, I got the test. Smirks at the screen, eyes narrowed. Anita. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so it is Anita responding. So anyway, so we just set up a daemon that can now respond to emails directly. And you can do the same thing with Telegram and Discord. So, uh, and that's daemons. Webhooks are kind of like daemons, but they're triggered by a URL. So I'm only gonna, do something really simple here, like say hello, instructions, say hello, and this would be, instead of my hook, we would say test one or something like that. And I'm not even going to go into what all this is, but we're just telling it to say hello whenever we access this part of the website. So this creates a new URL in Sapphire, and anytime you press it, anytime you go to it, it'll basically trigger it. So if I were to come up here, put in that new part of the URL, I think it was like test one or something. Um, oh yeah, I didn't give it a secret thing. So I did trigger the webhook, but it basically, it said I didn't have a password, with it, which is normal actually. So those are daemons that automatically respond. They trigger the AI from outside. Daemon is a little tiny mini server that runs in Sapphire and basically can trigger her to respond in certain ways. Webhooks are a little bit different. They just make a URL that if you access it from outside the app, you can trigger yet another type of response. So webhooks, webhooks are really good if you're using two coding agents that need to talk back and forth. They can use that. Webhooks, I guess, are a little bit less common. Daemons are really cool, way better than heartbeats in a lot of cases. So depending on the task, daemons probably what you want to do. And you're going to want to make daemons for whatever else you have. All I did was set up the email, but we've got Discord daemons, Telegram daemons. I think that might be the only two that I have other than this right now. But it's great. I mean, you make a Telegram bot that can change your lights. So you're out and about, you text your bot through Telegram, Like, forget about firewalls, forget about pulling up the interface. You're texting your bot through Telegram, and your bot is using Kokoro to record its voice and then send it back to you. So you'll get a voice clip through Telegram of your bot talking to you saying, hey, I just, turned on the lights or locked the front door or whatever. Um, so yeah, that's what demons are. That's what webhooks are. And we've already gone through how to schedule heartbeats and tasks. So that pretty much covers those. And that's, again, this is just the scheduling section. This is how you get the AI to do stuff without you telling it to do stuff at the keyboard in a chat window, the scheduling section. So next we're going to move on to, I guess, plugins. Gosh, we're knocking this out one by one. So see you guys in a second.